You guys, I really wanted to like this more than I did. I mean, I really did. Nerd Theory. Okay, so the Defenders. The Defenders consist of Daredevil, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. They all had their series, and now they're all coming together, Avenger style, but, you know, just not as dramatic or epic. The way this series started off was actually really good. Daredevil was having his issues. Jessica Jones is still an alcoholic. She's still not she's not investigating anything right now, so she kind of has that. Luke Cage just got out of jail. He's trying to get his life back. He wants to, you know, defend the people of Harlem. And then you have the Iron Fist doing whatever the fuck he does. Just so that you know, I didn't watch Iron Fist because I heard it was terrible. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Okay, so basically with the Iron Fist series, from what I understand, and Daredevil, it's been kind of leading up to this point with this organization called The Hand. And within The Hand, there's 5 main members because there's 4 fingers and a thumb that makes a hand. Okay. And it's all led by Sigourney Weaver, who's doing her best impression of not giving a shit about her role in, like, ever. I think she's just waiting for that phone call from James Cameron, like, hey, we're going to shoot another Avatar, you in? I mean, honestly, if that was really her direction to play this kind of uppity, just no emotion, nose in the air type of person, then bravo, I guess. So in the series, they actually start meeting each other kind of like in pairs. Matt Murdock meets Jessica Jones, and then Luke Cage meets Iron Fist. So they're kind of paired off right there, and then they're doing their investigations, and it all leads to one place, and then they come together all together at once, conveniently enough, because, you know, television. But from there, it kind of really went into a downward spiral. And what I mean by that is, number one, the budget just seemed like it was just very minimal. Like, they didn't really have a lot to work with because there's a lot of actors in this project. But with that being said, though, I mean, it's literally 8 episodes long. An episode and almost a half of it takes place in a Chinese restaurant. The fighting choreography was very minimalistic. It didn't look good compared to other shows like Daredevil, who does it really well, and even Luke Cage for that matter. And then when they get together, they're all just kind of looking at each other weird, trying to, like, oh, you're blind, but you can see things. You're weird. Oh, you're bulletproof. How does that happen? I'm sorry. You live in these writers have to know that, you know, the universe in general, there's aliens flying through the sky in New York City while this big green dude was smashing buildings and aliens. But for some reason, these 4 people existing in this universe is just weird to each other. But even more so, it was very juvenile. Like, they were all just kind of arguing all the time. Iron Fist was the worst out of all of it. Iron Fist seemed to be there just to be like, hey, I'm the Iron Fist. I was meant to do this. I'm going to do what I want to do, and you can't stop me. And they're like, oh, yes, we can. No, you can't. Boom, 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 boom. And then they're just fighting each other all the time. It is possible to have a Marvel series or a movie where the main good guys are not fighting each other constantly, and a lot of this series seem to be that's what was happening. Another thing too is Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones actually kind of starts all of this off in the grand scheme of things. She gets kind of this case, she's intrigued by it, she looks a little bit further, and then everything starts coming together. But after that, when they all meet up, she's kind of just there to serve as the mouthpiece, the sarcastic woman who always has something smart to say. It's like, there's Daredevil, who's blind and he's a ninja, and then there's Luke Cage, who's bulletproof, Iron Fist with the glowy hand, and then there's Jessica Jones. She talks and she's kind of strong. Another thing I have to say is that the criminals in this organization, The Hand, they just weren't menacing. I didn't care. You do have that one older Asian lady who's kind of been in these series from the get-go, and then there's Sigourney Weaver, and there's a few other guys as well. They were just... They didn't really do anything for me. I wasn't scared for anybody. I wasn't scared about Daredevil or Jessica Jones or Iron Fist, or if they caught the Iron Fist, whatever the case may be. I just didn't care. It just seems to me that for a whole universe coming together where this one organization is basically controlling all of it almost, you would think it would be a little bit more, I don't know, balls to the wall, but it just really wasn't. That was disappointing. I will say, though, at the last couple of episodes does bring it together. They actually start acting like civil human beings to each other, and they're actually acknowledging each other's, you know, concerns and all that. And then, once again, the action was subpar compared to other Marvel shows like Daredevil and Luke Cage, but that might have been because of the budget. I don't know. I do want to show you this one scene, though, to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about with the direction of this series as a whole. Okay, so this video I'm going to show you, it's Matt Murdock and Jessica Jones are running into a building. Now, the focus is basically on Matt Murdock, but what's happening is that Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones, is running alongside him as he's going up. She's going straight forward, but she's doing this goofy little run where she's slowing herself down so that way at the end they can both exit the scene together, and it just comes off really bad. And I know that this is just a minor thing. It's just one of those things that I just caught, but to me, it's indicative of what I'm talking about with the directing of this show. I mean, was that really the best shot you had? I mean, it's just like the director just didn't care. It's like, oh, fine, fuck it, whatever. And then they just cut and print. I think the ending of the series really helps with the buildup of what these individual series are going to be with Daredevil and Jessica Jones and whatnot. I actually kind of started liking Iron Fist at the end because he actually kind of grew up a little bit, which is what my problem was with him earlier on in the series. The series is only 8 episodes long, thank God, because if it was any longer, I probably would not finish it. So in the end, Defenders started off okay. Everybody was doing their thing, and then in the middle, it just really drug, and it was annoying with the writing, and then it kind of picked itself back up at the end with the characters working together. But overall, as a series, it's not that great. It should have been better than what it was, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, please subscribe to Nerd Theory. Every little bit helps, and keep on being entertained as long as it's legal.